Okay guys, so as promised, I was going to read another component of that topic that I discussed in the book about feelings. And so, way further in the book, it's so good. I am doing a channel where if you want to come and listen in and maybe have a conversation, I have a link to where you can go check that out. But basically, we were talking about feelings and the three major ways of how we handle our feelings. And so the first one we talked about was suppression and repression. And today it's going to be expression. So I'm just going to read it. Expression. With this mechanism, the feeling is vented, verbalized, or stated in body language and acted out in endless group demonstrations. The expression of negative feelings allows just enough of the inner pressure to be let out so that the remainder can then be suppressed. This is a very important point to understand, for many people in society today believe that expressing their feelings frees them from the feelings. The facts are to the contrary. The expression of a feeling first tends to propagate that feeling and give it greater energy. Second, the expression of the feeling merely allows the remainder to be suppressed out of awareness. The balance between suppression and expression varies in each individual depending on early training, current cultural norms and mores, and the media. Expressing oneself is now in vogue as a result of misunderstanding of the work of Sigmund Freud and psychoanalysis. Freud pointed out that suppression was the cause of neurosis. Therefore, expression was mistakenly thought to be the cure. This misinterpretation became a license for self-indulgence at the cost of others. What Freud actually said in classical psychoanalysis was that the repressed impulse or feeling was to be neutralized, sublimated, socialized, and channeled into constructive drives of love, work, and creativity. If we dump our negative feelings on others, they experience it as an attack, and they in turn are forced to suppress, express, or escape the feelings. Therefore, the expression of negativity results in the deterioration and destruction of relationships. A far better alternative is to take responsibility. That's really huge. Take responsibility for our own feelings and neutralize them. Then only positive feelings remain to be expressed. So remember, this is a book about consciousness, and he has a map of consciousness. And so I have another video. There's low levels of energy and how we express ourselves, and then there's higher energies. An example is grief. Grief is a low energy. I was going through grief from the loss of my husband. But I knew that I didn't want to stay there. I didn't want to stew in those emotions because he wouldn't want me to, for sure. But I just knew that there was a better way. And so, this came back into my life at the most opportune time. And so, on the higher scale of the map of consciousness is love and joy and peace. And so, if you're interested in finding a way to achieve those things, join me in my community. I have a link available to you. And let's try to break free from these lower energies that we're kind of like cycled into right now as a society and as a human culture. That is the goal for myself, but more now than ever, not just for myself, but for the human family. So I hope this helped you in some way. Please like and share and join the community, and let's heal. Let's rise above the lower energies, the lower emotions, and let's raise our consciousness. Have an amazing day.